and welcome to this new video. So I'm keep going on this character that I would have put the first part on the other channel. Maybe it's 6, so my voice is maybe a little bit weird and I can't talk like really loud. So in the first tutorial I started to do the armor and the skulls. So as you can see, I changed quite a lot, the skulls and stuff, so I think it looks a little bit better now. Add some dust and some stuff. So I still haven't finished, I still haven't started here, I haven't finished the legs. I started the hands. I'm not quite happy like with the hand. I still have some work to do with this. I've done the shoulders, so I don't know yet if I'm gonna make the shoulder red, like a red paint. And I've done this shoulder, I think looks pretty cool, that one. And I haven't started the back and these parts. I've done the belt, but I still have to like make it old, because now it looks like a new belt, not a mage, nothing. So I have some normal map here, so I'm gonna like use this normal map maybe to create some cool stuff. But in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna texture the helmet. So I just started, that's the base metallic I've created. So I'm using this, it's like hand paint base of some stuff. Actually I can remove this because that's gonna be up. Nope, not that one. Nope. Okay, so that's the metallic. That's the two fill layer that I've created to myself to just have like a metallic base. So basically I just uniform white, just a color, and I just set the metallic like really metal and the roughness. So but there's no variation, like here you can see that metallic, so have some variation everywhere. But when I start a new part I'm just using the base, so that's why it looks like really new. So, and I just created this layer here for the horns, so I'm just gonna start with this. So for the horns, on my model, I'm gonna just open it. So I have like this this stuff here. So I'm gonna create some bump map here and yeah, try to get the same as those one. So let's get started. So to start this, I think I'm gonna start with the bump. Actually, that's something I don't do usually, but now that's gonna or maybe with the color, let's see. I want pen pressure on that one. And I'm gonna start to do like some lines. I don't know, I still don't know yet if I wanna start with the bump or the colors and then do the bump with my colors. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just use the bump that I'm drawing just to make the colors after. I could make like both at the same times, but that's something I don't really like. Just a sec. Gonna just turn these to silence. Up. Okay. And just change this. Pen pressure. Okay. And same as usually, I go a little bit more crazy, and then I'm gonna control it with my layer with the value over there. So the whole model is all hand painted. I'm not using any substance to go faster, or so after, if you create some substance in Substance Designer, and you can use you can bake your cavity map, and you can actually go like way faster than doing everything by hand, like I'm doing now. But that's good practice, and to be honest, I'm not good enough yet in Substance Designer to be able to create every substance that I want for my models. So as it has to be done by Friday, I'm just using a technique that I know, and I know that I can have like some, I think, pretty good results with hand paint textures on my models. So for the moment I'm just using this, and I hope it will do at the end. But I think I'm in a good way. It's not that amazing yet. I don't have that contrast. I don't have many contrasts, so, but yeah, starts to look pretty cool, like the way I would like. So I'm pretty happy with this. So that's just like extra work what I'm gonna do, because I could use like black paint on the same time. It's just because I know that in this stuff that I'm making now, I'm gonna have actually black. Oh, there's a baby crying. I might go and close the door. I don't know if you guys hear that. That's my neighbors. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go after with color like inside, but that's usually pretty fast. That's what I meant before when I say like using, for example, cavity, because you can have some really strong substance and just bake like cavity and stuff. So okay, I think that's pretty cool like this. I don't need more. I'm gonna just use this one, and I'm gonna create a new layer, bump 2. I'm not really convinced about that one. Usually I can get some cool result, like to don't. I'm not gonna use that one yet, maybe later on. Let's start with some color. Can I just have a look if it's recording? Because yeah, it seems to be recording. Okay, let's start with colors. Gonna just use this one, and we're gonna go in color P to pick up the color that you want. Actually, it doesn't really change here because I have to go and pick the one I want manually. So I don't want all of this, so that's gonna be less laggy. And I want this a little bit stronger so I can change my value later on. Perfect. A little bit more reds. Okay, that's good enough. Pen pressure up. Okay, and now I'm gonna just go and actually I want this pen pressure on as well. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna just paint some some value, but really roughly, you know, like you don't need to be like really precise. That's gonna be more the dark one would have to be more precise. This one is just to have like another layer, and just to start to have like multiple layers to have different colors and stuff. So I just go like really rough on this stuff, and here I can even like go like this and go like random lines, because just keep in mind when you do this, that's like for a character for a game, so you won't really look like really close and say like, wait a minute, this guy like paint here and there's a hole. Like you need to be precise enough with the huge lines, but yeah, when it's like pretty small, that's just to give the idea of fake 3D, pretty much, more like values and stuff. Then after we're gonna paint a gradient on the top as well. That looks always like really cool. Small is getting like small, just paint like gradient and stuff. Okay, that's good enough here. Let's paint the other part. So same, really rough. And I'm gonna like put this character, I'm gonna animate this character, put in a game engine and control it with a controller. So I'm gonna write a script using Python to switch between FK and IK animation, and then my character is gonna be like animated inside game engine, so that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna have a running animation, fading to like walk and idle, and a whole bunch of animation. So I can pretty much use this for a small game, and I already done the animation for the bolter, for like reloading, idle, fiddle, and all of this. So I can pretty much do a really simple game using this. The only problem is that's Warhammer, so I don't know if I really have the rights to make a game. I can just make one for myself. So now I'm gonna just go like and remove some lines just to make it more. Actually, I don't really need to do that because I'm gonna have black over there anyway. So let's just finish this here. Okay, good enough. Black. Up. Now we're gonna go like inside the holes. And once again, looks a little bit weird, but that's when we're gonna have like all of the layers at the end. That's gonna look cool. That's why that's a little bit tricky when we do that, because at the beginning when I started to do this this technique, this kind of hand painted texture, actually I want the opposites, my bad. Yep. Maybe a little bit, no, that's good enough. Yeah, because at the beginning we tend to go like, oh yeah, it looks like shit, and just like, you know, like try to have a really good results with the first shot, and doesn't work at all. That's really, we have to go like really rough, even though we're like, oh yeah, it looks pretty bad. But then when we start to play with the value and stuff, and then that's when it starts to look really cool. See, like, I'm like, I wanted to erase this, but actually there's no time to do that. We won't even like notice it, so just learn to don't be like, just here I want to be like pretty precise, because there's only one, so like obviously we're gonna see this more. Okay, and that's just a matter of create layers and layers and layers. That's what makes it looks cool at the end. I can show you after, like for example on one piece of armor, like how many layers I have. That's kind of ridiculous. I'm just like adding some new layers, and just new values, and just go like so. The good thing is if you do like this for the black, and just with pen pressure, and you are sure that in every like kind of hole you have the same value of dark. So when you're gonna play with the number over here and drag it down, because obviously we won't have that dark, it's gonna look everywhere the same. Sometimes you don't want that, but for this that's perfectly fine. So it looks like a little bit like wood, you know, like okay, I think I'm gonna start to play with the value a little bit. And for like here I have everywhere pretty much the same, so I'm gonna go like pen pressure no, and go like this, and using holding shift, because it's pretty much like straight lines, so it's just like can be more precise, more accurate. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna drag it down the white, drag down the black. Okay, now we're gonna add a new layer and say we're gonna like erase by using this. Just to make it more like natural. Just going like where I feel like that's still too dark. And I'm gonna just go down a little bit with my bump. just want to make it look a little bit more natural. Okay. Now we're gonna add some dust. So same with this, we're gonna use the rubber, this one, and that's just to make it already a little bit more cool. And just to like help to go slightly in the result that we want at the end. It's also important for when you paint, like up. You kind of want to have some good results like fast. It's better for the more you see you're like, oh yeah, cool, that's cool what I'm doing. Otherwise, like, you can like, I don't know what I was about to say. I'm like I'm focusing on what I'm doing, and okay, I still have the brush with the dust, so that's pretty cool. That's what I want. Downward pen pressure for the eraser. Try to always, when there is like plan so fast like this, always have it like pretty clean. Try to avoid to also, when you go like for pretty realistic texture like that one, we can really see like you draw like one line, it's kind of like destroyed. Yeah, destroy the feeling or destroy the. And now what I realize as well, that's like my white, it's a little bit I have a little bit too much of my white. I'm kind of losing the base color that I choose. That's what I don't want actually. So to avoid this, I'm gonna just erase some of them. Start to look a little bit cool. So yeah, that's just that one. So there is two ways. What I want now, that's having this color like this one back using the dust, so I can erase this, or I can add a mask and say, hey, I want like a white mask, and I can paint on top of that one by using this, and I can say like, well, I want to add wait, white mask, so yeah, I want black. So now I'm not erasing the white, but I'm gonna just go it's not what I want on my mask. Yeah, thanks, awesome. So now I want to keep the white in the middle when there is like plain surface, but I want on the edge. I'm gonna just go like, I want to keep some lines like this, some of the white, but I want to have like somewhere have this color back. So I'm just gonna like apply a mask. What I'm doing basically, that's removing it's masking, and I can like, if I want to have it back, I can just erase the mask. So it's better to, or I could have picked the same color actually and just adding a new layer, but once again, it's just workflow. Just use the technique that you prefer. Okay. I feel like it's still way too dark. I do that. I love to have like pen pressure on the flow. Yeah, way better. Can I just go and try to make it looks less messy? And we want to give like the impression of it's like really used, you know, like really old, because all of the armor, like the armor looks still pretty new. That's a matter of time. Once again, that's to avoid losing time. I'm doing all of the scratches and paint, detail, and all of this at the end. That's to avoid to have to change all the time my brushes, because I'm just like setting one brush for the to do the details, and then I go through all of my every layers. That's way faster. Okay, start to look cool, but here that's way too dark, so I just go base color. Okay, so we want to drag it down a little bit, and also the dust. Or we kinda like, I want to keep the dust, but I want to add some light, so I'm gonna just go in my level and go Lume. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. So now we're missing colors, because it starts to look cool, but then that's not cool enough. So we want to have a dark orange here underneath the dust. So we're gonna say dark orange, and we're gonna use kind of this and say we want it darker. Not that dark. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we're gonna just add and try to cover where we don't like the, you know, like here for example, that's a little bit. So I go like really small with my brush because I have both of them on pen pressure. So then like if I go strong, I can have really good control of my brush. And now I'm gonna slightly start to go in details. Have a good base, so now I'm going a little bit more in details, and then I'm gonna apply some white and black in details to have it the final touch, and you will see that's gonna look way better when we're gonna apply the last layer by highlighting the area of light. So now we're just creating some like interesting once again, this one that I'm doing now, I can after like erase a little bit just to make it more interesting, just to add some more colors and also cover the black where I don't like it. It does take time, as you can see, like I'm spending like time on this, but that's gonna be a part really contrasting with my armor. So I really want this to look like pretty cool. So obviously I will do some more work, I think, on it, because I'm always like doing one piece and then I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, I go like do something else, and then I'm coming back and back and back, and I always go and change the, because I'm not happy and I'm just sometimes a bit too perfectionist maybe. Have to respond to this message. Okay, and we are back. So I was just going through this stuff. Maybe it lasts now. I don't remember where I was, but and I also turn on the lights because I realized it was a little bit dark. So yeah, that's pretty like fastidious work, if I can say this, if I can use this word. I don't know if it's an English word or not. I want to make it a little bit cleaner, so I'm gonna use after, like as I said, the white. And that's gonna look way better, like suddenly it's gonna start to be like, oh yeah, nice, it's getting there. Yeah, hand-painted texture like this, it's really time consuming. I actually really like doing this. It's really rewarding when we like see the result at the end and we're like, oh yeah, just hand painted all of this by hand, like I would have done in Photoshop, but the difference here is we paint the specular map and at the same time everything at the same time, so that's really like way faster. There is no way I can have like the same results just by using Photoshop the same amount of hours. Like for the entire body, like until now, I think I spent, it's hard to tell, maybe 15 hours maybe. I should keep time, take the time all the time when I'm doing this, but to know like how long it takes me to do. I actually do it, but for this I don't know why. Didn't put any timer or something. I know pretty much like each day how much I spend, so I can know a little bit approximatively. Okay. Need a bit too orange here. Add some dark. Now I'm gonna remove this. Just go a little bit in details, a little bit darker. Don't need to create a new layer for this. Just to highlight a little bit here. Okay, nice. So still, that's, as I said before, kind of messy. And it's really way too messy. So now we're gonna make it a little bit less by adding color on top of this and say like clean. I want something like that, even a little bit whiter. Okay, now we're gonna a little bit clean this. I won't use pen pressure for the pen pressure for that one, for the size. Then you can just use like this and go. And you're gonna just like try to highlight a little bit the edges. And by having one same color, we're gonna like clean, that's gonna appear way more like cleaner. Yeah, that's what I want. And then same, we can erase a little bit where we paint too much and play a little bit with the values. And slightly we will be good to go to the next part. And now, since it's like, I should be a little bit less precise now because we're getting close to the end. So now can also use this brush instead of the, to make it cleaner and less messy. Because I still have the eraser actually to give the same like effects. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. But yeah, I will show like the entire like character, and you will see why I'm like spending a lot of time on this. I have a seam here, so it's quite annoying. These seams, like usually I don't know why like we see that much. Usually we don't see them that much, but sorry, that's a little bit annoying part. I will put a skip button, I think, for this. Yeah, I might put a skip button because it takes a little bit longer than expected. I'm always trying to go like fast for the video and stuff, but I got like an issue here, so I'm gonna have to trick with the color because I get some spikes like inside, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna just paint normal map and the same material that I'm gonna use for this. I'm gonna just use it. And so here we already have some good spending way too much time on this again. More that I would like, because I know I'm gonna go back on this and just like change it later on. That's why usually I don't go that much in details, and I go like to something else and then I come back. It's also good to don't stay focused on one stuff because your eyes get used to it, and then you're not good anymore, like you're not that critic that you should be, so you just create some stuff. And yeah, that's usually good to work on like a lot of different parts at the same time. But for the purpose of the video, I'm just staying on these parts. It's always like easier as well to when I do like without recording, because I can be really focused on what I'm doing. That's less pressure as well. Okay, I think that's not too bad. Can add a little bit of black. Just going through the this kind of holes. So once again we can see that we actually use the shape that we created with the bump. So sometimes you want to start with the colors and create just like random holes and stuff with the colors, and sometimes you can do the opposite. You create the normal map, the bump map, and then you use the holes that you created to draw your value, to paint your values, paint the black, white and stuff. And when you go like what I'm doing now, that's the most important stuff, because that's what's gonna decide if your model looks really messy, if your texture looks like messy or really clean. If you have like small straight lines for the eyes, that's what we'll see the difference. I'm going like through that one, and then we're gonna see the difference with the left part, and that's create like really huge difference. That's also like in terms of resolution, that's, you can see that the resolution is good, because if you just use like airbrush, and it can give the impression that the resolution is too low. Okay. So we definitely go for like wood arms. Okay, a little bit here and we will be done. So try to always put your seams where you don't see it. Like, even though with Substance Painter that's less important, because when you do like hand paint texture with Substance Painter, that's not that important than in Photoshop, because the seams, we still see them, as you can see here. That's why I put them on the middle. of hide them as much as possible. Okay, so now we have like this part, so this part looks way cleaner than that one looks still, so after we can drag, you know, like we can see the difference without and with these lines. It does a really good job. So here let's leave it too dark. Let's not lose lines. I think. That's not too bad. Maybe slightly remove a little bit of black here. Because the hole's a little bit bigger, so we don't need that dark. Sweet! So let's do the other part now. So once again, now I'm gonna put a skip button. I should actually have a timer next to me, and all the time when I want to put a skip button, actually I'm gonna just end the video and just start a new one because I want, that's gonna be easier. So I'm gonna just go through these parts and then like start the new one. Well, okay, so we're back. So I just did the same process I've done here on the other side. So I think for the horns, I'm gonna just look at my reference. So it doesn't look like my reference because my reference, oops. So the reference here, that's a drawing, so I photobashed and I drew like some parts. So photobashing means I took a lot of different pictures and I just like photoshopped them all together to create one character that I wanted to model. The thing is, on the horns here there is not really like contrast and stuff, so I decided to go more for like woody horns, try to make it more like interesting than this one. So that's why that doesn't look like really like the one, because obviously I wanted to save some time and my reference concept art was more like, you know, like a draft or something. So now that we have this, it does look okay, but now we have to do the final touch, which is the gradient. So to do that, we're gonna call it gradient. And so I want maybe to have some dark here and more light on the top. Yeah, we're gonna go for this for now, and we might change it a little bit later on to make it even more interesting, but let's see just here if we put a little bit down that one. So we can see that it does a huge difference. I think I'm gonna even like, yeah, leave it to 100%. Okay, so I'm gonna just go same, I go pretty rough. That's obviously not the final color, just to start my gradient. applying the color that I want. Hop. Okay. Okay, not too bad. And now we're gonna take this one, so that's the same. Yeah. And we're gonna just go like erase. I want actually this one. I feel I have more control when I erase with this than the other one. Go like really slow or really soft. So then, like, to do my gradients, I'm like keep adding and removing. We need to have like the value that I want. Okay. And gradient 2, white, and same process. And after we can like put the lines on top of this, just to that's gonna look better. We can have like the clean black, so the clean are actually on the top, so that's merging more. The clean white maybe no, because as we can see that's a little bit weird for the black gradient, so that one we might keep it below. Can actually the black mask, no, and a white mask. I want my gradient, but I don't want to lose this value. But that's this white is too intense here. But to keep like having this value, even though I have my gradient, I'm gonna just like mask it slightly. Okay, and for me, I think I erased a little bit too much here, so now I can say like, hey, I want my color back. So I go there and I say like, I want a little bit more white on this. even though I have my gradient. Hop. Okay, so back to the gradient right. So we don't have the good color. That's what I was talking about before. That's all the time changing the color, which is pretty annoying. Okay. Now here, let's see, that's too boring. So I'll just erase a little bit the gradient. So still don't have like a really plain surface. Okay, that's not that much. Just see like a small want to have these lines because I think they're gonna help to have the effect that I want. It's a bad UV setup over there, I don't know why, for the bump, so we might leave it like this. Okay. So we have our gradient. Okay. Good enough. Okay, for first shot, I think that's good enough. We're gonna save. So we covered how to do the horns on the helmet in this tutorial, how to hand paint horns. That was the first time I was drawing horns, so I did take a long time to do it. I'm gonna have a look on the whole model. So let's leave it many layers. Okay. So it's pretty cool, fits to the character. I do need to have like contrasting stuff here to make it more interesting. And the red eyes, that's gonna help a lot. Because that's gonna be the main red emissive eyes. Oh yeah. Just to have an idea. Obviously I won't be like this, but yeah, it's just to have a first idea. I don't know if the horns like contrasted enough. It's not too bad. I might do the opposite, like do like a white gradient here as well, instead of the black gradient. But after it always looks a bit weird when you... No, I'm gonna leave it like this. Because after when it's like close to another object, that's like the skull here. Like it looks alright now, but just to show you an example, if I go to my unique skulls, yeah, I didn't name the last, I was pretty lazy. But that one, that's the one who, like, you know, like this looks like really weird, looks really like, oh, just put it there. And then when you just like paint an edge, it suddenly like go like way better. It's like really fading into the stuff. So even though in the engine that's gonna create some shadows, I won't create that shadow here that you need, because even though we're using shadows, so the engine like use way better shadow than this. Like this is really like cheap shadows, but yeah, I don't know about the ends. Looks a bit too, I don't know, looks a bit off to me, but anyway. So that's it for this tutorials. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, don't hesitate to comment anything you want, any suggestion for this character, and say that my accent sucks, or like whatever you guys want. I'm open to any critique and any suggestions. So thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye.